our government can account. We say, let us government account. This is part of accountability. Now, Hisbah police is a police that was set up. It's a religious police. It was set up in Kano and other Islamic states in Nigeria, and they do what they want to do for the sake of Islam. They raid bars, they raid shops that sell alcohol and those things, and it doesn't matter if those shops are owned by Christians or whatever. They raid them. Is it in the Constitution? No, it's not in the Constitution. So if they are allowed to operate, why will you say that Amatekun should not operate to protect the farms of Yoruba people? That they should not operate to protect the women of Yoruba land from being kidnapped in their farm while they're working in their farm? The same in the southeast, the same in the middle belt. And so when you look at all of these things, you have to ask yourself as a Nigerian, that really, are there two laws? Are there two Nigerias? Or 10? How many Nigerians do we have? And if we're going by ethnic nationalities, then we have about 350 or more different Nigerias in this one Nigeria. You know, so these are our realities in this country. And when we refuse to face them, and we use political party, and we use politics to sweep it away and say we're doing one Nigeria, and say we're doing that we're doing politics, we're deceiving the. I want to exclude myself from this deceit now, because nobody can deceive me. I believe what I believe, I know what I know, and I stay with the truth that I believe that I can defend. So people who prefer to be deceived and want to be deceived can go ahead with this deceit. But as an electorate, I'm speaking as an electorate now, I'm saying that our governors, we must begin to do something as a people, as Ikore people, as Oba people, as Ekpe people, as Egi people. Even though I said I won't do it like this, but it feels easy to do it because you are identifying, you're going through the process as the different ethnic nationalities that we are, irrespective of whether the governor is an Ijaw man or whether he's an Ikore man or an Ogoni man or whatever the case may be. We must begin to make sure that certain, if not everything that we want, is put in motion. We want to know how many rivers people we are. Yes, we agree that Yoruba people can come and live and work here the same way rivers indigenous, whether Ogoni or what, or Ijaw or Ikore, can go and live and work in Lagos. Yes, we agree. But because you live and work in Lagos, it does not take away your identity as an Ikore man because you live and work in Lagos. Does that make you a Yoruba man? It does not. It does not. You're still an Ikore man. You're still an Ijaw man. So we need to know how many people that we are in this state, and therefore we know how many people that we are in our local government. We know how many people that we are. That's why we have 44 local governments in a place like Kano. And then we have 8 local government in Bayelsa and 23 local government, because they made the decision as to how many people will be in a square area for them to manifest in a local government. When Kano created their local government, did people from Rivers State go and check to see whether the figures are correct or not? They did not. They did not. So why then are we shy from saying that Rivers State can have, instead of 23, Rivers State can have 33 local government areas? Why? Why can't we have more local government areas? Because if we have more local, since they are sharing whatever it is that they decide to share by local government, the more local government you have, the more your share. So why should Bayelsa remain at 8 local government? You know, so look, I want to tell our governors and our politicians, our states, our senators and all of these people, that the fact that you have been given my power to exercise on my behalf does not mean that whatever you do, whether it is right or wrong, that I must accept it. No. And you must at least, I know that in the Senate it is difficult, but let us see you. It was very difficult for me when I was in the national conference. I was a lone voice. Some of my opposition were directly from the Niger Delta. Some of my opposition were directly from River State, because River State was broken into two, as a matter of fact. The governor nominated his own people from River State, and other people were nominated. I was a federal government delegate nominated by the then President Goodluck Jonathan. But I went there and I argued for River State, and I argued for Niger Delta and the rights of the Niger Delta people. You know, so you don't have to be there and keep quiet because nobody will listen to you. At least let us see you drive the process that we want you to drive. And then let the opposition of 6 against whatever we are rise up and win the day. At least we know that you fought for us, for crying out loud. We know that you fought. And that that it fell for you in the wrong places. But to keep quiet is no longer acceptable. If his bar can exist legally in the eye of the Nigerian law when it is not in the constitution, then the neighborhood watch of River State can exist, as long as they will protect life and property. On that note, I want to read out the telephone numbers. It is 0818 144 2222. The second number is 081 88 588 155. And last week we had the issue of people coming into Nigeria without visa. That issue is still there. And what I've noticed about this government, hello?
Yes.
Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 1 minute, please. No reasons. Just go straight to your point, I beg.
I greet you.
I greet you right back.
My name is Matthew Kalio.
Okay, Kalio Ndani. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I'm shedding tears in my house as I listen to you. I'm really emotional. I'm very, very touched. But I think in all of this, we need a way forward.
Yeah.
Our leaders, stakeholders in this region.
Yes.
We need a common front. We need a voice.
Yes.
Thank you, Grace. I really want to see one-on-one. We need a common front. We need a voice.
I think we made arrangements for that. Let's go back to that arrangement.
We'll talk later.
Okay.
So,
all right.
We need where we can talk.
Okay.
Push our people forward. We need a common front. We need a people. We need a voice. We need to take it.
Okay. Call me.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, yes, good morning, sir. Your name, where you're calling from. Move away from your radio or turn it down. And 1 minute, please.
I've done that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good, I'm Craig.
Okay.
Calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead, sir.
Good, I love your program so much.
Thank God.
But I want this medium to speak about our constitution.
Go ahead.
That in this country, if you check our contract amendment in 1999,
Yes.
you can never find anything like Christianity law.
Yes.
Constitution.
I know.
But what you have is Sharia law, Islamic law.
Yes.
Is Nigeria Islamic country?
That's the question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay. Is Nigeria an Islamic state? It is not. It is not, because we have Christians. Hello? Okay. And as I was saying, the issue of what I've noticed, as I was saying, this government is throwing things at us on a daily basis. They throw A at us. We're there talking about A. Then as we're talking about A, they throw B. Then everybody leaves the A and comes to the B, while they proceed with whatever plans they have with A, and A goes on, and B and C, and so onward and onward. So we are just, our people, and again I remove myself there, our people are just running around in circle. not actually being able to finish. We need to organize ourselves in a way, and that's why everything I think is of importance, I bring it to you to share with you. We must be able to discuss and see everything to its legal conclusion. Okay, why was the neighborhood watch stopped? And in stopping it, how did we resolve it? Just because federal government says it is illegal, our government, the Rivers State government, should have gone to court to challenge it. The worst is that they will lose, but they should go to court, because that way we can see that they're working in our interest. Because the police is overworked. The police is overworked. Anybody that says the police is not overworked is wicked. The police is overworked, and their frustration is showing. The police is not as professional as they ought to be. It is not their fault. When you employ somebody, hello? My sister, speak up, I beg you. Good morning. So when you employ people into a position and you don't pay them, and they are not even capable of the work that you have employed them for, they will not perform. When you employ people because of federal character, and then you bring them to us here in the South to do your bidding, you're not doing good. And these are the things. So if everything that we want to do in the South that we are denied, we should challenge it in courts. Let the law for what it is worth, the CJ, and whether we know what he will say or not say, we should be seen to be challenging it. We should always be seen to be doing what is right and what is just, because on the day of argument, that is what people will see. And it is when you challenge these things what is due process? When people say due process, what is due process? Hello,
good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 1 minute, please.
I'm calling from my name is Charles.
Okay, go ahead, sir. 1 minute.
I from where I started listening to your program, I am carried away. In fact, how I wish everybody is listening to this your program, especially those of us in the south, either southeast or no matter what we call up here. From what happened in Imo State yesterday, it's a clear indication that we are in trouble. Some of our leaders does not know. Because at one time or the other, they give the peanuts, they keep on, deceiving people. They don't want to listen to the voice of reasoning. So I thank you. Please go ahead. How wish people to listen to this program.
This way. We thank God. It is for me as an ordinary citizen. When I heard Reverend Mbaka say that he has a word, and the word that the governor will be removed, I knew that the matter was already a settled matter. But what is shocking is the complacency with which Nigerians, Southeast, Southern Nigeria, and Imo people took this thing as a done deal. And that's what they go do now. Then go take them from them now. You see, that's the problem. When these people wanted to remove Goodluck Jonathan, when the cabal wanted to remove a Niger Delta man from being in the presidency, they didn't sit down. They told him, don't you dare to run in 2011. They told him, don't you dare. It's not your turn to run. And even some of our people joined them to make sure that Jonathan was removed. But they didn't sit down. No, all the compromises that Goodluck Jonathan made for them, for the cabal, they still removed him because they made up their mind that a Niger Delta man, a Christian, is not going to govern them. And once they made up their mind, they worked towards it and they achieved it. We now, what are we doing? We're fighting ourselves. They are using us. That is why it is stated in some of their statements that they will never allow the people of southern Nigeria to rule over them or to have a say in their affairs. This thing was said decades ago. It is still manifesting today. This is not it is documented. That's why they don't want history to be taught in Nigeria, because these are historical facts that is happening, that is playing itself. What is happening in Nigeria today is what a section, a group of people, a part of Nigeria, an ethnic group, a religious group want to happen in Nigeria, irrespective of the fact that they are not the only people in Nigeria. And so I conclude, therefore, that our people are cowards. Our people are afraid. Even the Bible says that anybody who is afraid to lose his life, God meant it that if you are afraid that, if you stand up for God, that you will be killed by the persecutors, you will still lose your life. It is the same thing in politics. If you are protecting something political, it has a lifespan, it has an end. You will still lose it. You won't be a governor forever, you won't be a senator forever. You will still, you will lose it, you will go. It's the same thing. And that is why you must do the right thing, whether it's 4 years or it's 8 years, because you don't know. A governor that was declared a winner by INEC, that went to court, still ended up being removed by the same court system that said his result was okay. So the point is that we must be able to stand up for what is right at every given time. That way your conscience is clear. This one, even the president, when the American ambassador went to see the president on the issue of basic rights and things, the president said his conscience is clear. I don't know the meaning for me. Somebody's conscience being clear is not. It is between you and yourself. Whether your conscience is clear or your conscience is not clear, it's between you and yourself. So the point is that every person must be able to say that their conscience is clear and that they actually mean, and that truly that their conscience is actually clear. So the fact we have to face today in Rivers State is that there is a lot at stake between us. It is not political. Look, anybody, I watched, this is just digress. Well, it's not digressing actually. I was watching Magnus Abe on television yesterday. And I picked it up midway. I didn't see it from the beginning. But what struck me about Magnus Abe, and is not too different from how I know, the little I know of him, is that he is saying that it should not be always about the political party, that it is about the people. And here I see a man who, whether before he was like that or not, but he has come, this is a man who has come to realize that he owes himself respect, he holds himself accountability, and therefore his family by extension, and his people by a larger extension, and Rivers State by a greater extension, and the region, Niger Delta region. But I also saw a man who says that don't take this disposition as weakness. It's not weakness. I'm not weak. But let us respect ourselves and do what is right for our people. Now, that is a politician that tomorrow I will be able to listen to. And it doesn't, I'm not from Ogoni. He's not from Niger. I don't But he's from Rivers State. And therefore, if he's from Rivers State, he has a right to aspire for anything, whether to represent Ogoni people or to represent the whole of Rivers State. And therefore, I cannot sweep him aside. Just the same way every other ethnic nationality has the right to aspire. And it is very, very important that we in Rivers State see our identity first. When you see your identity, then you can see your state. When you see your identity, you can see your local government. When you see your identity, you're seeing your community. When you see your community, you're seeing your local government. When you're seeing your local government, you're seeing your state. For instance, now, Kola and Soku, they're in Akuku Toru local government area. From when I was a little girl of 4, when my father the first time my father put me in a speedboat and was taking me around the creeks, I knew about Kola and Soku. And the way Kola and Soku is today, even Abonima is today, I don't see a difference at all. I don't see a difference. Abonima is still a one street town that I know. The only difference is that is third, if you call that third. But the houses I saw in Bob Manuel, Usara, they're still the same houses that are there. They're still the same families that own them. My grandfather's house, Abel's Gate, where I grew up, is still there. Me and my siblings and my uncles and my aunties just last year renovated it, and thanks to Nigerian army that came and broke the windows and everything, looking for what they kept there during the election, where even the governor said that the Rivers State government will compensate everybody, the people that were killed and the people that lost property and all of those things. I think we should actually take the Rivers State government up on that as well. But I heard him say so at the memorial service. I wasn't there, but I watched it. Now, so for me, I've known places like Kola and Soku. I've known places like K and Bile, the fishing port, the Bartholomew River, all those things. I know them like the back of my hand, like I said, because my father used to take me to those communities. Now, nothing has changed in those communities. K is still the same way. Bile is still the same way. And this is the places where Kola and Soku, that is where the oil is. Abonima, the community I come from, the headquarters of Akuto local government, is not directly oil producing, but the local government is oil producing. So why will I not support the local government? Why will I not stand up for Kola people and Soku people? Do I have to come from Kola before I will stand up for Kola people? Do I have to come from Soku before I can support a son or a daughter of Soku who wants to go into oil and gas? To be able to go into oil and gas. Why can't I go into oil and gas? Why should somebody who is from another geopolitical zone, another state, a woman like me, be the richest woman in the world or in Africa, black woman, from the resources that was allocated to her in my backyard? She is not the richest woman, and I do not, if I stand to be corrected, please, wherever she is and her company is, I want to know, because that oil well is somewhere in our territory, and if it is our territory, it is somehow connected to a local government. What has she done for the people of that the nearest town to her oil well, and the people of the local government area? Not talk of the people of Rivers State and Niger Delta. If now we have a situation where one man is going to build a refinery, and people are saying that the investment, which investment? Where did he? Hello, good morning. Please, you have to speak up. I beg you. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, speak up.
Yeah. I was listening and I quite agree with your views, particularly where the Niger Delta people have believed that they are not in any way minorities. The census that were taken in 2006 was huge to favor the north. And I believe that if you have political conscious from Niger Delta.
Please speak up, I beg.
Okay, I said if Niger Delta people are politically conscious enough
yes.
to always come out and vote,
yes.
Yes. Then, in our elections that we are even more politically relevant than them.
Yes.
Yeah, another issue is the issue of the election in the industry. I think that's what explained by the lawyers where people don't even have votes where they're not counting. That later added. Why it came out to be the number one at the end of the day after much thorough examination.
Let me ask you something. Do you actually believe that? You're an intelligent person. You sound like somebody who is sound and can reason. Do you actually believe that? Okay. All right. You have answered me and I've heard you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing is I was expecting you to react to the videos that have going around from Twitter.
Which video? There are so many videos. People being beheaded because they are Christians and all kinds of stuff.
Not that one. The one where I was going to
see, let me tell you something. Stop there. Let me tell you something. I am not somebody that runs away from anything. I have opinions on everything, and I choose what I express my opinions on, because the work I do is personal in the sense that nobody called me and gave me a job to do. I'm not being paid. I pay for the hour that I use. I use my energy to talk. I use my brain power to think. Now, having said that, my brother, let me tell you something. Traditional things are traditional things. They have their own rules and regulations. And I grew up in Abonima in the 50s as a little girl. I grew up at the foot and feet of traditional custodians, people who hold the Kalabari tradition. I'm not talking about any other people's tradition. I'm talking about the Kalabari tradition. And so traditional things are things I love and respect very, very well. And as a human being, I, and Q Briggs, will never place myself in a situation where anybody will disrespect me. Now, having said that, if you disrespect me as a person, it is your choice to disrespect me. But I will not join you to disrespect me. That is one. Two, I have no authority or information or rights to discuss traditional issues. There is a traditional council in Rivers State. I said it before. When I was growing up, I did not see where government in the 50s, where government had to recognize traditional rulers or chiefs, or even create them. Today, government people, politicians are creating traditional stools and rulers and chiefs and putting them there for politics. When you place yourself at that level, you will have videos like this. When you are given what you claim is a staff of office by government, not by your people. Your people did not give you that staff. Government has given you the staff. And government calls you for a meeting which you must attend because you're collecting car, you're collecting money, you're collecting cow and rice from the same government. And you go to the meeting and the government speaks to you and you say you don't like the way the government has spoken to you. It's Ankyo that will come and tell you what. Well, it's 11 o'clock. Thank you very much. I was hoping that this question will not come up because I refuse to discuss it. But if it comes up, I knew I wouldn't run away from it. But like I said, I will not place myself in a position where anybody would disrespect me. But if you choose to disrespect me, that's your choice. But I will not join you in disrespecting me. On that note, if you watch that video, you will see exactly what I mean. And if you don't see it, well, that's your responsibility. It's not mine. I'm not a traditional ruler, and Kalabari people do not give women titles. So on that note, thank you very much. I look forward to interacting with you next week. God bless you. And please, come to 5 Nights of Glory in Salvation Ministry, or tune in anywhere you see. Thank you very much. God bless you. Salvation Ministry, 5 Nights of Glory.
Oh my God.